A little bit closer.
Hi. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
There you. But you're gonna watch this.
Okay.
All right. So still on.
So I basically just like messed with him. I made him sound like Satan. I made him sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Made it really fast, slow. Messed with the levels. Blew my eardrums out. Couldn't hear a thing. Tried everything. It was great. I got a great laugh about it. Showed them all to my sister. We were crying by the end.
So yeah, play around. If you record something like that, you can't mess it up. It's a throwaway piece, you know? Record a Let's Play on something maybe you don't care as much about, you know? And then just totally mess with it in your editing software, in After Effects, and whatever you want to do.
Whatever you're using, just mess with stuff. Have fun.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
I think a lot of people do get really scared of breaking something.
Yeah.
It's like grandma with a remote.
So make something that's meant to be broken.
Yes.
And just break it over and over again until you figure out what you like to do.
Break it until it is yours. Sorry.
You know, your analogies are just so on point today.
They're getting really weird.
It's late, guys.
We're moving into the weird shit of YouTube.
Watch us, we are the weird shit.
We are the weird shit. No, there's weirder. So let's see here.
Your
own levels, consistency.
Game levels, we sort of talked about. Location of like where you're recording is important for things like that, of just like things you have to consider of like backdrops and like lighting that's going to be like doing stuff, and like sound pollution such as barking dogs or like lots of wind blowing everywhere, so then you suddenly can't hear anything.
Surprise.
Or you're in like a really echoey room and now things are just really awkward for everyone.
And that again will change based on your location. So, and we're not saying like adhere your equipment to that or your levels to that. You can, but also think about the location you're using. Is it going to work for what you're trying to do? Figure that out.
And all dependent on what you do.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to record a Let's Play at Target. That's a good idea. I'm going to record a Let's Play at Target. I'm sorry.
You didn't take back what you just said. You're giving them bad advice.
I know, but that would be. What about a series where I recorded Let's Plays at places I shouldn't record Let's Plays?
No, it's like okay, but like that thing where like you know, controversial reference, but like how PewDiePie did like that one video that one time where he like pretended he was like doing VR in like out in public.
Yeah.
Just like bring up like just like sit on a cardboard box or something in like a Walmart and just like put up a computer real fast and then just put on headphones and just like do something and just like record.
I'm gonna take your idea one step further. I'm gonna get one of those little rascal scooters and set my entire computer up on it, and I'm gonna run in through Target and go, "Hi everyone, my name is Zaxelzach. Welcome to the Let's Play of Target." And I'm just gonna record as I drive through. And
just like play Mario Kart on like a Nintendo DS and just like your racetrack is Walmart.
Don't take my idea.
And then just like attach streamers and like a banner to the back of your little scooter, just like comment, subscribe.
What's going to be even better is you'll know that I've done multiple, because in the background you're going to hear Target Play go, "Oh, there he is again."
Didn't we put a ban on this guy?
Get him! Oh guys, this game is getting really intense.
He's getting away. Oh, there's a banana peel.
Bonus, I still have hot chocolate just spilling everywhere as I try to navigate the rascal scooter and play a game at the same time. They're going to have to clean up after me.
And then they just add obstacles on wet floors.
Sorry to the employees of Target and Walmart. They're going to have to suffer through my stupidity. Oh. Like, comment, subscribe.
What's your channel?
So yeah, location is important. A hand up here?
Slightly less insane idea.
No, I don't want to hear it. What is it?
Let's play the demos that they have on the consoles.
That's, yeah, absolutely. And actually, I'll talk about real quickly. So, Funhouse, part of Rooster Teeth Productions now, they do a series called Demo Disc, where they take those old demo discs you used to get, old PC gamer magazines and whatnot, and put them in a computer that's meant to basically eat up viruses. Like it's a dead computer essentially, and they play those. And it's funny to go back and see all the old games that require like an old dial-up connection. Yeah. and they don't connect to any servers whatsoever anymore because they've been long dead. So that's a fun series. If you've never watched Funhouse's demo disc series, it's good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now
Good
the
stuff,
screen's
man.
right here. I keep looking down on myself. You're like,
So much input. Where am I looking? Lighting and stuff. That's important. Again, like where your location has a lot to do with that. Of like sunlight that's gonna like be like washing out everything. So like you're like a vampire on steroids or something.
steroids of light.
It happens. Consistency, like time of day and equipment. This happens to me a lot.
Yes.
If I'm doing longer videos, like Q&As or like more in-depth videos that take a lot of explanation, I have to reword myself once in a while. Depending on what time of day I start, like the light that manages to get through my bedroom window, suddenly, like as time goes on, suddenly like some clips of my footage look really orange and like others don't, and that's really annoying. And so then I have to fix that lighting and like color consistency in post, like with editing and stuff. Like it's an extra step that like if you can avoid it, it's great.
Yes.
It's possible to fix, which is fine if you don't want to bother worrying about it, but like it's a thing.
It's something that so it's something I take care of in the sense of blackout curtains, right? So I just shut off all natural light and supplement my own. It's something I saw them do. This is on a much bigger scale, but I was an extra on Leverage, like so many people here in Portland were. And it was, they turned the convention center actually into an airport, but they did it at night so that they could just supplement their own lighting. At night, they had no natural lighting to work with, so they just put up their own, and that was exactly what they went with.
Very smart.
That way there's no variability.
Thank God, I finally like just recently got blackout curtains.
Good.
Mostly just to like sleep because I have to go to bed really early and wake up for like morning opening shifts and whatever, but like now I'm like, this could really come in handy for YouTube. Again, it's the afterthought, but I'm like, YouTube.
And I got them specifically for YouTube.
Two kinds of people.
Yeah, I know.
Consistency, overall quality impact, obviously. If your lighting is like really off and really weird, some people are gonna click away because they're like, I can't see what's happening.
And people are, they're finicky when it comes to what they're watching. Here's the thing, and this is probably a little bit later too, is that those first couple seconds do matter in terms of your recording. That's your hook. People,
span.
yes, they will watch a video, and within the first couple seconds, they'll decide if they want to keep going or not.
Yeah.
You know?
They're going to be the final judge. You just kind of have to do your thing and cross your fingers that like somebody's going to stick around.
Yep. And this is where YouTube analytics come in. We'll probably talk more about this in a little bit.
Yep.
Look at your numbers. YouTube gives you an analytics section on your creator page. It gives you where people are tuning in the most, where they're dropping out. This tells you where you need to fix your consistency, where you need to fix your content.
It shows you where there's like some gaps there that you can start picking up some slack and like tightening things up and figuring out how best to compensate. That's basically pretty much it. And then after you've done all your filming stuff, there's all of the stuff afterwards in editing.
We've kind of talked a little bit about some of this.
A little bit. We've touched on it. Different styles of editing. A lot of like, you'll see this difference in a lot of different YouTubers, not just with like Let's Plays, though they are an excellent example. Like Zaxelzach, for example, is a little bit more heavily edited. There's a lot of jump cuts of like, and it does more of like the really fast-paced, high energy, like snippets and moments, and it's just like that all the way, boom, boom, boom. But then there's like other YouTubers that edit a lot less. They edit a lot less to sort of just like keep it a more uninterrupted experience, and different people gravitate towards different things. Some people love the highly edited stuff with all the special effects and cool text that bounces around everywhere because it's like, ooh, pretty colors.
Yeah. And I think, again, I reference them constantly. I love them though. The Game Grumps. Watching theirs, they don't like to cut. They don't like to ever cut out or jump to something else. They will on rare occasions because of something specific that happens.
Right.
Sometimes, like, I think it's been like, oh, Dan's like, I really have to pee. You know, and Aaron's like, can't you hold it? And he's like, no.
Like, no.
Like, actually, no, even in that case, they probably still keep going.
Probably.
Honestly, they do. Aaron will literally just talk by himself.
Just leave it rolling,
They don't like to cut. They will on rare occasions because of mistakes or problems or something like that.
But it's very sparse. It doesn't happen very often.
No.
Yeah, and different people like different things.
After Effects. After Effects, if you don't know, is an Adobe program, and there's other programs that do similar stuff. Just this is kind of one of the examples. After Effects is adding effects to a video. You can add snowfall, you can add lasers, you can do all sorts of stuff, masking. And I will not go into it now because that
could be a panel all in itself.
5-panel series.
Basically.
And that wouldn't even touch on 10% of After Effects. There's so much to it. That's something to look up tutorials
It's
on.
such a dense program.
Like many Adobe programs.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider is like if you're wanting to add effects to your videos, you want to look into these kinds of programs. It just, again, like everything we've been talking about depends on what you want to do. Yeah. I did some Anime Hunter stuff where I added some snow effects. Really pretty, really nice.
So pretty.
My computer was like, God, come on, dude. Like rendering this stuff. It was like, I can't keep this up, man.
I'm fading fast.
So donate money to me so I can get a new computer. Here's my Twitch channel. It's not. I am on the road to getting a new computer because I'm at the point now where my first gen quad core i7 is like, I can't handle this anymore. Send me to the retired home.
Yeah. Have mercy.
Have mercy.
Yeah, take pity on your old man. Yeah, so sometimes you just kind of gotta let go.
Let go. No, it's no song. Background music.
Yep. There's lots of different ways you can get background music. I use a lot of things like this, and like getting royalty-free stuff is really important if because of copyrights.
Yes.
Especially if you're monetizing your videos, they're not going to make anything off of something with a copyright claim on it because they will take that right off, or it'll go to somebody else that's not you.
Demonetized. That happened to me actually recently. I had a video that was months old. And suddenly, boom, I got a notification saying, hey, your video's been flagged. You're not in trouble.
Yep.
But this music belongs to somebody else, so we are going to monetize it. But the money's going to go here. And tells you that somebody else owns that music, so the money's going to go to them. You don't get any.
Yeah, that's basically the notification that I get on all of my lip syncs or like the CMV video that I did, which was like, and I knew full well that it was going to happen. I never actually even tried to monetize those. I know it's not going to happen. No. I set those automatically to like, no, I'm not making anything off of those. No. But then I always get that thing in my inbox where it's like, hey, so like, there's a copyright claim on your video, but don't panic, it's okay. You're just not going to make a dime. And I'm like, I know.
If they believe it's in malicious intent, they will flag it and say like, you're in trouble.
How dare you? That's not yours.
Where you two have a lot of money, you don't. Fight our lawyers. Go ahead.
Just try.
Yeah, so there's a lot of videos that you got to be careful about monetizing because one, they could get you in trouble, or two, you just won't receive money on it at all, period.
Right.
Not that you see a lot of money on monetized videos anyway, depending on how many subscribers you have.
Exactly. It's a rough road, and like monetization is something we touch on later. But ways to get around copyrights is to use royalty-free music, which is free for anybody to use. There's no copyrights on it or anything. You can use it if you're going to use it. There's websites where you can get royalty-free music, which is usually what I do. There's a couple, like 2 that I end up relying on because they're like the least sketch, in my personal opinion. Ben Sound is one that I found first. And then there's also Purple Planet, purple-planet. It's, I don't know, there's like different genres of music you can scroll through, and then you can pick things based on what mood you're trying to set. And like,
a lot of them do have that. YouTube actually has its own section of royalty-free music in the Creator Studio. You can find royalty-free music and some sound effects.
Sound effects too.
Yeah, it's not extensive.
It has its limits, but it's there. It has some basic stuff that you could probably find a use for depending on what you do.
And some of them do say, like, hey, you can use this one, but you have to credit the artist in the description of the video, copy-paste this thing and put it in the video, you're fine.
Yep.
Right? And even then, I've slipped up on that before, and I really try not to, but they don't really do a whole lot about it, necessarily, but you should. Yeah. Cover your butts, you know? Don't let yourself fall for that one.
Yep, definitely. And then rendering stuff.
Simple guide up here. Bad computer, rendering for days. Good computer, time to render.
It's done.
So like my Let's Plays are often very simple because especially with the way OBS is now, it's a pretty powerful program. I'm essentially just chopping off the front end of the video and the back end of the video and just rendering it flat out. And Adobe's like, oh, sweet, okay, here you go.
Done.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, depending on the length of the video. But again, like the After Effects thing, or like editing a long video, or cutting and clipping and adding images that fly in and do stupid things. My computer's like, you can't do anything now for 2 hours.
Go take a nap for a couple days.
Yes.
I have a question regards trending. So, like, basically, I'm learning right now about, like, editing and stuff. My fiance was the one who's been, like, helping me with my channel and rendering, editing, and all that. And he uses After Effects. And he's got a really good computer. And, like, when he does my videos, though, and, I mean, our videos are the same length, but he does my videos, and they're done within, like, 30 minutes. But then when he does his own, it takes, like, 2 hours. And it's just, like, they're the same length. It's literally, we'll be playing the same game.
Yeah.
And, like, the editing on it is exactly the same, basically. But it takes so much longer, we don't know why.
It would be tough for us to say just because, like, we don't know the technicalities of that.
It's really weird, though. Like,
but,
my
like,
videos are done like
does
that, and then his it just takes forever. And, like, he'll do, like, any video of mine goes instantly fast, but every single one of his just takes forever.
Oh, yeah. No, I've, like, tried to, even just, like, with uploading to YouTube.
Oh,
I've tried to upload, like, a 20-minute long video, and it's like, you know, like, 30 minutes later, okay, sure, you can have it. 4-minute long video. I'm gonna sit here for an hour. What are you gonna do about it? And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
And that can be a variable based on internet connection,
Yeah,
you know, or
maybe.
quality or length of video, how much work it has to do.
There's plenty with that.
That's what sucks about the upload process. It's largely dependent on your internet connection, which is slightly more variable than your computer. Your computer, you kind of have some sense of control over it, but with the internet connection, it's like Comcast is like, "What? You like this today? Screw you!
Suffer!
Suffer!" Because Comcast is not your friend.
Yep. But yeah. That's
rendering.
Fun stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the upload process. Boy.
So, Creator Studio, we talked about the available music. Creator Studio does allow you to do a couple of simple edits, such as chopping pieces out or on video, adding some text. Panels, like little things that slide in and go, visit my store here, or something like that, or check this channel out. Very simple. Don't rely on it to edit your entire video. Depending on how simple your video is, you could, potentially. But it's not really an editing program that will deliver the best experience.
Yeah. It has it's like the skeletal structure of an editing program. It has like the bare basics, but it's not going to get you really far.
For a second there, my brain registered that you said the Skeletor of editing projects.
Zaxelzach.
You will render for days.
The upload process.
The power of Grayskull cannot help you now. It's also my papyrus voice, so there's that.
There's that.
Hey, I know a quick title you can use for this now. We sound like Undertale in a panel. It doesn't come till like the end.
Video title, and we can talk about description a little bit too.
Yep. Yeah, and again, it's like different for everybody depending on your content. Some people, like, everybody has like their own set formula for how they title their videos, where they'll have like one section in all caps because it's eye-catching. And then they'll have, like, you know, decently properly written stuff later, and like, they'll list like, oh, the title of like, I just got robbed, and then it's like, story time with this person. And then you're like, that must be true.
Absolutely. You see the ones that are overglorified, the ones that are like, stabbed at Target? I don't know why it's always Target now, but here we go. Stabbed at Target? When it's like, somebody probably had like a pen that was pointing at something, and they actually ran
and like moved your hand, and they were like, oh, sorry.
Sorry about that. And they're like, ah! You know, it's you'll see those over sensationalized videos, and I think we talk a little bit about
clickbait and stuff.
Strong community.
But then also times like with Let's Players, it's like they'll be like, this game is, it's like, oh, this game like made my hair turn gray or something. And then they'll be like, this is the actual game. It's like a horror game. And then you're like, okay. Sometimes it's actually productive, and it'll actually give you a hint as to what's in your video. And like whatever is going to grab your audience is usually what people go with. And sometimes people take it too far, and it's like clickbait, and you're just mad when you go in and watch the video, and you're like, well, I didn't get what I wanted, so bye forever.
Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like with that like turning hair gray thing, and you watch it, and the guy's like, oh God. And that's like the worst scare he gets, you know?
The worst he's like, oh, no, he's just got a heart attack. And you're like,
I have an aneurysm.
Really? Oh no.
No,
it's not.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
And there are heart attacks. There they are. Description. Or, content before creator.
Yep. Yeah, tagging your video is really important. Like, the type of video is going to, like, depending on what you're doing. And, like, tags are really important for actually getting your videos out there. And when people are searching for things, if they're searching for certain keywords, you want to make sure that your video actually pops up where it's supposed to. And that's a big part of just getting yourself out there.
So make sure you're applying those reliable tags, the ones that you know apply to your video. Just because you saw a refrigerator in your video doesn't mean you should tag refrigerator, because then you're going to get the person who's like, I was looking for a good refrigerator tutorial, and here you are. I don't think I've ever had that happen before, but I'm sure it has before.
I'm sure it's happened.
I'm sure. Suddenly I'm going to get an angry refrigerator comment on one of my videos that I tagged refrigerator in. Here we are.
Yep.
Back up a little bit, content before creator before content. It just depends on your preferences. We see it change all the time. So just so you know, there is no solid, like, you should always put your name before the content or the content before your name. I follow multiple people that do both, and it works great for them, and they have thousands upon possibly millions of subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
So that part doesn't really matter. Just want to clarify, that's up to you. I used to care about it. I don't anymore.
Yeah, basically. Doesn't seem to make like a huge impact, at least not to us.
No.
We don't notice it. Other people swear by certain formulas of success on YouTube.
Hey.
We're like, what is that? What?
Never, there's a real quick, slight little thing. Never listen to anybody that says, this will make you famous on YouTube, do this thing.
It's BS.
There is no magical formula.
There is no one right way to do it.
Nope.
There just isn't.
No. Don't buy those. Listen to people who are going to say, this is my experience, and this is what worked for me.
Yeah, take from it what you will.
Yeah. Those are clickbait. That's a perfect example of clickbait. Is
right.
like, do this thing.
Make you rich on YouTube instantly in 4 weeks or less.
It's the equivalent to those ads you see pop up on websites that are like, take this pill and women will love you. You know, it doesn't exist. Don't take that pill, you're gonna die.
Just stop.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you watch out for those. Experience this. Watch out for people who are saying this is what worked for me.
Yeah, there's a key difference. Linking your videos to Twitter is like one way you can also just like spread your videos out on other social medias too. One thing that I used to do a lot when I was actually still on Tumblr more than I am now is that I would post my YouTube videos on multiple places. Tumblr obviously came first for me. I would like post them on YouTube, and then I would just like post them to Tumblr straight after, so that people that follow me on one could still watch without having to be subscribed necessarily to both. And then like Twitter came afterwards, and that's a good one too, where it just automatically does it for me. It's easy to set up, things like that.
You sign into it through YouTube when you click send to Twitter, basically.
Yeah, you just like check a box. You're like, it's on my Twitter for me, thanks, bye.
Which is something you'll do when you have it scheduled versus published.
Yes.
It will link to Twitter as soon as you release the video, which you can either do click of a button, publish immediately, make it public, or you can set a schedule.
Yep.
A lot of people do that to keep consistent. I do it when I've been consistent, is publish at noon every single day of the week. You know, boom. All my videos are set to go. I can upload them all on Sunday, and they will all release individually on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at noon.
Yep.
So, functionality.
Yeah. Some people say that consistent uploads and like upload schedules is what makes it. Again, I am the most inconsistent uploader on the face of the planet. I don't find that it makes a difference.
Exactly.
I don't know that for a fact. It's just kind of our own different, separate experiences.
Whereas it's like Game Grumps have a schedule. You can expect their videos to be out at this point, it works for them.
Yep.
Funny enough, because this whole panel can be summarized by whatever works for you.
Basically. Gosh, that's so true. Tagline of this whole panel, if it works for you, it works.
It works.
Yep.
Thumbnails.
Custom thumbnails, please.
Flaws. Because YouTube gives you the option to select a panel from your video.
A nice screenshot snippet that they just kind of pick from your video.
People don't hardly ever click on those videos.
Yeah.
They see a thumbnail that's just a print of somewhere in your video. They don't click on it. They don't find it interesting. Mm-hmm. Right? They're gonna go to the one where there's like a starburst background and a guy going. And some character from the video game is popping up from the side and whatnot. Custom thumbnails, in the least, are more eye-grabbing. I shouldn't say they'd never click on the ones that are screenshot.
Yeah, honestly, I think it honestly really depends, again, on what you do. And that's getting really old to say, but it's so true. Because a lot of times, I actually don't have very many custom thumbnails on my channel at all. I really don't. But in, for example, my in-character panels, what I'll do is instead of making, full-on custom thumbnails in Photoshop, which I'll do once in a while, but it's not a regular thing, is I'll just go through my panel and I'll screenshot something myself of a very particular frame that absolutely does happen in the panel, so it's never clickbait. You will see this happen, but it's a very dramatic motion or some emote that one of us is doing. That they're oh wow, things are getting crazy in that panel. I wonder what the context of that is, and then they'll click on it and then just watch, and then it'll happen. They'll be oh, that's what they were saying you're doing.
And I think that still comes up in custom thumbnails though, because you're choosing that moment.
Right. It's I'm making a conscious choice of what I want to present. I've rarely left it at YouTube's discretion. Because they don't usually pick very dramatic or flattering screenshots. So I'm just no, I'm going to pick the one where I'm doing this. And I'm gesticulating a lot as Chat Noir. I'm saying that I'm very...
That's too much flavor.
Come on.
Obviously, this is just too hot for YouTube. Sorry.
Obvious. Oh, wait, oh.
Well...
Maybe. Too much flailing. Too much flair. Too much
Rip
spice.
me.
Hey, okay, don't breathe on it.
Everything moves in slow motion now. Don't startle it. It's like a frightened woodland animal. No sudden movements. It will flee.
It's like a T-Rex.
Or Pokemon.
I was gonna say a deer, but T-Rex works too.
That's the vision is based on movement part.
Sure.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Perfect.
Then the guy gets eaten out of the toilet.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yes.
Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Copyright, yeah. YouTube suddenly is your video's been flagged. You said Jurassic Park. I don't know why I almost said that like the Mad Hatter. You said Jurassic Park. That wasn't quite the Mad Hatter. Let's continue.
It's fine.
So custom thumbnails. Sex sells, but it's lazy as hell. You get videos that just have boobs on the front, and then there's no boobs
in the thumbnail.
Yep.
But it's. Yes, a lot of people unfortunately click on things like that, but do you want that to be the reason?
Then your comments are going to be, there was no boobs.
They'll just be oh my god, this was clickbait.
Clickbait, and yeah.
And then you're just hated forever.
Mm-hmm. You know those are the ones too, because you'll click on it and immediately the likes are 160 and the dislikes are 590. So you know exactly
what your ratio is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, does it work? Ish. If you just want clicks, yes. If you want people to watch through the whole video, not necessarily, because people can usually figure out pretty quickly if oh, is this love chat?
And
Not
you'll
really.
know. You'll figure it out pretty quick. Be legit. Don't be those people. Because if you're here, I'm assuming that you want to start a YouTube channel, or if you haven't already, and you want to build a strong community.
Yes.
And that is not through clickbait. That will not help you.
Strong communities don't happen through clickbait. It's about creating a relationship with someone, relating to your community, connecting with them. You're not going to connect people that are shaking their fists at you. Doesn't quite work that
You'll
way.
connect, but it'll be their fist to your face.
Yep. Very physical,
Through a
passionate
screen.
connection of rage. Yep.
Yep. I think it kind of comes down to that whole like thing I said earlier was like that ad that says, this pill will get you women. When it's like, there is no, what? Oh, you know that one advertisement pops up is like, do this one wild trick and women will love you. It's like, no, because guess what? They're human beings who might just want you to be nice. And even then, that's like, don't expect anything out of that because you should just be a decent human being.
Yeah, just like have a chat for coffee or something that works, yay.
So there's no magic pill for your videos that will get people to watch and like you. Be a decent person. Create content you like. Then maybe you'll catch somebody's interest. Not everybody's going to like it. That's okay. They don't have to.
Yeah, and your community, the ones that you create and keep, are the ones that are sticking around because you're doing what you do and they like you for you.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow, it's like real life. The more you know.
I love you do half rainbows.
Yeah, we are like...
Just...
It's like McDonald's original.
I'm going to get into After Effects and edit that into here.
Please do.
Except I'm not, and there's just going to be like clip art of Brandon.
No, that's
I'll be like, I got lazy.
That's even better.
I'll do a wipe effect. There you go. Halfway.
And for this section, because it's just our faces, just have like a little tiny thing of like the PowerPoint in the corner. Actually, make us tiny. The PowerPoint's
Make us
more
tiny.
important.
The PowerPoint's more important, honestly. You're going to have those fans of you, though, that are just going to be like, no, I want to see it.
They're so tiny.
I want to see it. I want to see the face. Did I do that too little? Hi, Uptown. We're friends, right? I'm friends with Uptown. I can't break myself like that.
You're going to make me cry up all this great eyeliner I did to try to look sexy for your dating game later.
You're going to cry earlier than this anyway, so let's go to the next panel. Not this one necessarily, but yeah. Marketing, and also we have like 13 minutes, so let's kind of move along a little so we can take questions.
Marketing, getting your name out there is really important. This is honestly one of the most crucial ways. It's the integral way of how you're going to grow as a channel, because if you're just sitting there and there's that one person that found you by chance and they say nothing about it and nobody else is searching the same things that they search, so they're not going to find you, nothing's going to happen.
There it is.
You're just, that's it. That's the end of the line. You're done. Period. End of the sentence.
Yep.
But there's lots of different ways you can get yourself out there, such as social media. That's such a huge thing in this day and age.
Surprise, surprise.
Wowee.
Speaking of which, YouTube is social media, so focusing on that. Make sure you're tagging your stuff, joining the right communities, and Twitter, Reddit, wherever it is you want to go.
Linking to other things, making sure to like post about stuff on Facebook or like on wherever it is that your base of like followers is, so you can be like, hey, this is me. I have a YouTube thing. Guess what? I made this cool thing.
Surprise! Business cards. We have some up here. If you want to grab some afterwards, you can follow us on social media.
We have the things and the stuff, so it's a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And business cards.
Yeah, they are really useful. Like, it's very common. Like, if I've hosted a panel on a day of a con, and I put my business cards out there, and like a few people, even if it's just a few people that pick them up, almost like clockwork. That night when I checked my phone in my hotel room, there's like this block on my Instagram of like, so-and-so started following you, follow, and it's like,
oh, shoot.
Hi, something works. Hello, where'd you come from?
This puts paper in hand. These are things that people don't like to lightly throw away. I know some of you know that in Japan, giving a business card is a big deal. You give it with both hands, you receive it in both hands, you observe it, you don't just put it away in your pocket right away. In America, it's not quite so formal, but I do know that I've gotten business cards where I'm like, I don't want to get rid of it because I'm going to follow this person, so I can put it on my desk until I actually go and follow all their social media. It's paper in hand, and it doesn't cost that much to get basic business cards.
And if you just have it out on the tables like I do, it's like if somebody picks it up, it's because they want it. I'm not just being like, here's my business card, love me.
I don't go to people and go.
Then if people are like, okay.
Gone. And I don't
In
go
the
up to people
trash.
in the hallway and go, hi, like, comment, subscribe. And I'm like, I should do that. Why am I not doing that? That's amazing. I've been wrong.
Axel, you have a thing here. You gotta work with what you
I
have.
need to follow my dreams, like, comment, subscribe. Word of mouth, this is where you came up with the wonderful term, happy germs. You are happy germs. You are spreading the germ.
You have to
of happiness.
spread. And to a certain degree, you are infecting people with what you do so that it's on their minds. And they're thinking about it and they're like, and so like you want to be that. You want to be a germ of like positive impact that spreads, and then they pass it to someone else that they are in contact with because they're like being like, hey, I found out about this thing, or like, I saw this cool video I want to show you. And then they're like, who made that? Let's check out the channel. And it's like, whoa, look at all this other stuff they did.
Wow,
Wow.
infected. You are now contagious. Sorry. Did I make it weird? Sponsored posts. You can pay on most social media sites to sponsor your post and get it onto the dashboard of people who aren't necessarily seeing it right away. Instagram, Twitter, every single one. You've seen them. You've been going through your dash and it says sponsored post.
And it just
something.
pops up and it's something. Usually something that you've just looked up on Google recently. Isn't it funny how that happens?
Boom.
Yep.
They're cheap. $5 can get you a day on most of them, and it'll get it into specific places. You can set it. I want it in this country. I want it in this region. I want it to reach this many people. I want it to reach
Depending
this
what your specific like target audience is, you can be like, hey, this is what I want to reach. This is my audience, my target. Get it out there.
There it is.
Panels. This is like a huge one for me, especially because that's literally how I started with everything.
Yeah.
Posted my first 2 in-character panels in 2014, and I was like, whoa, like this is actually kind of fun, and I should do more of this. And then I was like, what if I filmed them and put them up on YouTube so that people could actually watch that can't come to the con? Because not everybody can do that.
Right here.
Right like there. Yeah.
Like this, right?
Yeah, right like this. What we're doing right now. And like that's literally how I got started. And like I stuck them up on YouTube, and like it took several months to a year for people to actually find them and notice them. But then like that one person puts a comment, they're like, hey, this was kind of cool, good job. And I was like, there's life.
There's life.
Signs of life detected. What?
Collaborations.
Collabing with other people, and one thing we're talking about recently is avoid discriminating based on like follower accounts when you're just starting out. Don't be like, I'm just starting YouTube, like I started like a week ago. Why won't Markiplier play with me?
Because he gets that request 5 million times a day, and he's not going to, because it's not like he's like, I'm so much better than you. It's because he has so many projects, millions of followers.
Got a lot going on.
And it does sound rude to say like he's not gonna record with somebody who has 300 subscribers.
There comes a point when, unfortunately, as really sad as it is, you have to start setting like a priority for yourself. And you have to start setting a baseline for what attention you can give to certain things. Because if you do end up growing a lot, you will pass this threshold where like you just have to start investing your time and energy in certain things. And that's just kind of the way it works.
Hence, like for instance, you don't always have time to respond to every single comment or question you get.
I used to be able to respond to literally every single YouTube comment I ever got, and that was something I prided myself in. But then all of a sudden, I felt like it happened overnight, where all of a sudden, wow, like there's so many that I actually cannot keep up anymore. And so I read them almost every single day. I still read every single one. I keep reading until I catch up to something I recognize. And I have a good memory for them too. And then I'll scroll back up, and then next time I check, I'll do the same thing, rinse, repeat. And if I see something that's like really, really nice, I will take the time if I can to respond to be like, wow, you're an MVP, great job, thank you so much, you're actually really great, and make me feel really happy. Or if there's like an issue that comes up that needs to be addressed, I will address it if it's important. Or if it's just like garbage and I don't need this negativity in my life, I just delete it. I police my comments very strictly because I like to keep positivity alive.
Surprise. And that's a great way to approach that. And you might eventually reach that threshold. That's up to you to determine what that is.
Yep.
Create your own work. We just did a little panel on that.
Yep. And so interacting with your audience, this is about creating your community and actually creating a true interaction with them, a connection. Replying to comments, showing that you actually exist and that you're listening, that you're a real person, that you're reading what people are saying.
Oh, they're reading the up.
Oh my God.
Really quickly, so basically we were Skyping and I was being a little mean and teasing people that would send them messages.
Bad comments that like you can barely read, which I get a lot of.
The person basically was like so starstruck that they sent a comment that was like, and they hoped that I knocked my phone down. They basically like just completely threw out, and so I made a bunch that was like, how to a fleep. And I think it was like, I think it started with Uptown, how do I dance? Because those are redundant questions, so yeah. So there's Uptown, how to a fleep, and it kills them every single time they read it, and I like that, so I keep putting it in there.
Because like I hate it because I'm an actual grammar Nazi, but that's also just so funny to say.
Uptown, how to a fleep. So just comment that somewhere and
no!
kill them.
Why would you say that?
You're gonna get like 300 comments on your next video that's just Uptown, how to a fleep.
You suck.
Yeah.
You can't actually say things like that because it'll actually happen.
So we have 4 minutes. Do we want to kind of just jump to questions at this point, or do we want to try and cram the rest in?
Basically like crash course. Different ways to interact with your audience, basically whatever you can to get yourself out there to their face. Let them know that you're alive and you're listening. Talk to them. Get them involved.
Yes.
Challenges, lots of things get in your way.
Yep.
Brain farts, creative walls, haters, negativity always happens. You can't avoid it. You just have to figure out how you're going to address it.
YouTube screwing with their algorithms because YouTube doesn't care about small channels. They want the money. And this is the sucky thing about YouTube is that they do that frequently. Sometimes they get a little better, sometimes they get a little worse. It'll change. Clearly right there, they want the money.
Yep.
Back.
Moving forward, broadening your horizons, try new things, don't let somebody tell you that you can't. Monetization, obviously, you need like 10,000 views on your whole channel in order to actually do that, not just one video. Consistency, again, some people say it's really important, but others say it actually doesn't make a difference. It just depends on you and what works.
It doesn't happen overnight.
You have to be patient.
Here is a good example right here. I'm just going to touch on this very specifically. This is an example, and I'm not saying like Uptown just got lucky, but it does come down to a time and a place thing. Uptown has been doing this for 1 year and has 136,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for 3 years. I have 321. That is not something that I say like, I'm a failure. It's just like my audience.
It's just like acknowledging something that's like, you can't predict what's gonna happen. You really honestly can't. And like, a lot of it has to do with just like being in the right place at the right time and like doing content that's relevant to like that one person who said just the right thing to their friend. Boom. And it explodes. And like you can't predict. It just happens. And I don't know when it happened for me either. I don't even know. It's a mystery.
Now this is not to say that it's always luck and that you just gotta get lucky. The point being that you have to create the best content you can create that you feel good about, because when that time does come and people see that, they're not gonna see a person who doesn't care. They see a person who has put their heart and soul into their work.
And they're there for you. That's why they stay. They came for what that one video was and they stayed for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Monetizing, choose a direction.
Yep, it's the hi at me.
Hi at me again. Rule 10,000, we just did that. Copyright claims, we talked about that earlier.
YouTube will put ads on your channel and your videos regardless of whether you're monetizing your videos or not. It's just whether or not you want to reap benefits off of it.
They will monetize for their own benefit, not for yours.
Right, and then it's just if you want to add something on top of that.
To it.
Yes.
Final channel.
Hi, it's us.
Hooray, it's our faces.
Those are our YouTube channels, us and stuff, which are on our business cards.
Yours and yours.
I know.
I don't know. I didn't chat with me. Don't talk to me about it. I don't know why I did that. So, but these are the channels right here. And actually, is the next panelist in here right now? We could actually probably draw this out for just a couple more minutes.
Yes.
I don't want to take up their time if they come in here, but now we might have a chance to take a couple questions.
Yeah, if you have concerns or like specific things that you wanted to bring up or like a tip you wanted to share or whatever.
Yeah.
You back there, you haven't said anything yet.
I'm curious if you have any recommendations for neutral lighting.
Say that again?
Recommendations for?
Neutral lighting.
Neutral lighting.
Lighting.
Or cool.
Ooh,
So that's something that like I got the LED panel for because it has that adjustment knob that you can go between
Yeah.
the two, and there's just literally like a point in between that blends the two together
your
very
magic
nicely.
spot, like your sweet spot of like,
yeah.
you're just fine with this thing.
And I twist this knob and it goes really cold. I twist it the other way, it goes really warm. And I twist it and it meets just right in the middle. And then I use a diffuser, basically multiple layers of white fabric, and that diffuses it across a nice broad way, so I don't have a bright light just boom on my face.
Oh, wow.
That works great for me.
Yeah.
Those are like on Amazon. You can search LED panel, and then you'll find stuff for $20-$30.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a click, give it a look.
Give it a whirl.
Let's see. You with the mustache. Hello.
Mustache.
So when you're talking about we got stabbed at Target, is that foreshadowing what's going to happen in your next play?
Oh, man.
Target?
Well, you're right.
Don't
Wait
give away
until I get the
secret
rascal.
Formulas. Oh my god.
Maybe.
Jeez. Paige, over here. I mean, yes,
Really tall.
that is true. I am a tall tree.
But you're a great tree.
Thank you. Thank you. Keanu and I talked about specifically what kind of tree I was, and I forget what it was. I think it was like a maple of some kind.
Elderwood.
I don't know. Okay. Man with glove.
So, I guess just, with the whole, like, with you specifically on top of your, like, lip syncs and stuff, and, like, posting channels and just kind of grow your audience,
Mm-hmm.
like, what kind of, like, thing would you, like, just people doing interviews, like, what kind of thing would you classify those kind of videos that you began doing?
Like that I started with?
Yeah, like, uploading panels that you spoke about.
Oh my god, like out of like the categories that we gave earlier, it's like, again, it's like one of those things that like it's hard to put a label on because it's like a very specific, like finite niche. So like, it's sort of like, it's not vlogging, it's not like a tutorial of any kind, it's just kind of like, it's sort of like the dance videos, I guess. It's sort of, it's like a theater, kind of dance theater hybrid sort of thing is basically what I do.
Gentleman back here.
Yes.
Yes.
Comment more, but there's a couple channels I really like, but they handle the camera too much.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand.
You might have covered it, but that was just something I made comments before that others and got feedback, which is what do you know what you're doing.
Shaky camera. It's like a bad movie, action movie in which they have a shaky camera.
Oh yeah, no, when I was looking for my new camera that I got recently-ish, not really recently anymore, but I definitely looked for something that had good stabilization in it, so that like if my hand was like super shaky after having 3 hours of sleep and no food at a con, it wasn't going to show up very well and people weren't going to call me out on it.
And I think this is a point to make also about the fact that phones are getting so fantastic.
Yes,
And
phones
then
take such
honestly,
good videos sometimes.
You can actually record some really good stuff. My Google Pixel here, auto stabilization.
Yeah.
It is awesome. Never be afraid to use your phone these days because they're starting to match cameras. They can't replace cameras just yet, but they're getting pretty dang good.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Want to sweep this way?
Yes.
Okay.
I was wondering if
Oh.
you actually knew how to.
Well,
I want to hear the answer to this question.
I mean, if you consider the root question that it was originally supposed to be just with a lot of keyboard mashing, like Uptown, how do you dance or something, I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you ask some people, yes, I have over 13 years of training under my belt, but like, so I would say that to a certain extent, I have knowledge of how to afleep.
Not that they can describe how to afleeb.
It's kind of hard to put into words, you know.
Go to school for 13 years about that.
How to fleep.
How to fleeb.
You know, I went to
How to
fleep
fleep.
academies for a while, you know.
Absolutely.
It's an art form, fleeping.
Here.
Well, you said like you know you give tips, and I guess like my biggest tip to like anyone and everyone, because I mean I'm smaller than you and everything, but I guess my biggest tip is just don't give up.
Yeah.
And I do it because it makes me happy. live streams are always good too. I live stream on YouTube when I want to be interactive with my viewers and like help grow my channel and all. But then I live stream on Twitch when I just want like more of a laid back stuff and everything. So I use like multiple platforms and all that.
Oh yeah.
And I've gotten a lot of comments because I'm recording right now for Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, a Game Boy game, and people are just like, "What are you, like stuck in the '90s? Like you suck. Like that's so lame. Play new stuff." And I'm just like, "This is beautiful. Thank you very much. I'm doing what I love, and
it's like
get stuff by. Like if I can make at least one person happy, that makes me happy."
It's like, sorry, but appreciating the oldies but goodies.
Right?
And I'm going to take a quick tangent on that. Never give up. Absolutely never give up. But watch your health, watch your mental health, watch your physical health. If it starts eating at that, take a break. It's okay. I'm just coming off of a 2-month hiatus from YouTube. Funny, I'm doing a panel about it. I'm coming back this Monday. So as you subscribe, you'll see a new video on Monday. It's actually titled My Mom Names Overwatch Characters. She called Soldier 76 Dad 76. Here we go.
So good.
It's going to be so good.
So good.
Yes.
If you're looking for good lighting, and you can't like buy any equipment, just get a daylight bulb for your light in your room.
True.
Yep,
yes, I've literally considered replacing every light in my apartment with those.
With a daylight bulb.
Literally this close to doing
It's
it.
supposed to emulate daylight.
Natural-ish light outside, which is less orange.
Point on lighting, the reason I chose LED light panel was because originally I had used a shop light, right? And because people have recommended that for lighting for videos and whatnot, right? Shop lights, very hot. Get very hot very quick because they're just a strong bulb meant to be used in a garage or a workshop so you can light a giant wood project because you're a carpenter. It got very hot very quick and it burned a sheet that I put over to diffuse it, and I learned the hard way not to do that. So be careful about using actual bulbs because they get hot.
They do. Fire hazards.
Fire hazard.
Please be considerate of them.
Thank you. Yes.
Considering what it's about monetization, considering that highly likely my content is not really going to be advertiser friendly, but with my fictional characters having a tendency of cursing or say hello to Chuck folks made at Donald Trump and them sort of like.
I'm gameless. I mean, literally every YouTuber who's been gaming is trying to just like switch over to Patreon.
Yeah. It's just like my plan is kind of not bother with monetization, just go straight to Patreon.
You can, yeah. Patreon's just an option. Some people I know never ever monetize their videos ever, and sometimes that's totally fine. That's something I don't think we really touched on actually was that never get into YouTube for the money.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Don't do it for the money.
Don't do it or you'll be so unhappy. You'll be miserable.
So miserable.
You have to have some other motivation that's really keeping you passionate about it. You can't just do it for the dollars. It's not going to work.
And it won't work even if you do ever get there to start, because you will be disappointed within the first couple of weeks. You will not be rich from YouTube, at least not right off the bat. And even then, like, you could have a couple thousand and it's still not making that much money.
It's not like a
from
ton.
it. No.
So
I made $10 in a year.
Yeah.
Treat
yourself.
Some even words or titles are just automatically flooding videos.
Yes.
Yep. YouTube's getting real picky.
Yep.
Really
Look
picky.
up that list. You can find that list of demonetizing tags for YouTube. Find what those are. Work around them. Use your vocabulary.
Yep. You got this.
What are your guys' thoughts on YouTube trying to make company YouTube trying to make YouTube safe for kids?
I mean, it's stifling for a lot of channels.
They're owned by large corporations.
Yep.
They don't come down to our level to actually see what it is people want. They work on numbers alone, bureaucratic. It's dumb in my opinion. And it's like, again, messaging Amazon and expecting to change the entire company. It ain't gonna happen.
Right, and it's like what they had, like what like with Amazon going off of that, what they have, it works.
Yep.
It works really well. Why would you change something that's working?
Yep.
Don't do it.
Agreed. I think we're actually going to call it there. We got to start getting out of here. We have business cards up here, and actually,
Please help yourselves.
Yes, please help yourselves. If you would like, I have wristbands that say like, comment, subscribe on them and my name. Please feel free to take one. I also have pins and buttons with my face and my logo on it.
Ooh, I like buttons.
Because why not?
Why not?
But thanks for coming, guys. Thank you for being such
Thank
good
you
listeners
so
and dealing with all our
much,
tech
guys.
problems and tangents.
Absolutely, yes. And here in just a bit, we're both going to, we're doing Animal Data Game 18 Plus. If you're 18 plus, make sure you get your hand stamp and join us for 18 plus.
Wait, how do we get a hand stamp? What?
Go to the programming office.
Info booth.
Well, it was, but at midnight.
Info booth or program office.
Change over to the programming office.
Thank you. So yes, programming office. Go there, get your
We're doing our runs.
present ID. You have to present ID to do that.
I'm really glad that you were in the D&A office. I knew that I